go, Fritz.
The Bears are who we thought they were.
The Bears. The Bears.
I am the great Cornholio.
We'll see what happens.
Playoffs?
See, Sean McDonough, Jay Billis. Goats!
Can you play a song? Something cool. Put my mic on!
I'm calling both games.
Oh, baby!
Are you serious?
Goes down the field for Smith.
Oh, he got it!
Seattle. We're getting ready for Cincinnati.
In other college athletic news, the University of Maryland becomes the first Big Ten school to partner with a sportsbook. On Wednesday, University of Maryland announced a multi-year deal with PointsBet, the sportsbook PointsBet. Per the agreement, PointsBet signage and advertising will appear in and around Xfinity Center and Capital One Field at Maryland Stadium. Xfinity Center is the basketball stadium, and the Capital One Field at Maryland Stadium is the football stadium. PointsBet, and get this. This is where it gets funny. Well, actually, we'll save that for a little bit. But according to a source familiar with the partnership, it's a 7-figure deal, although no financial details have been disclosed at this time. And Maryland joins LSU, Colorado, University of Denver, and UNLV as schools with a partnership with a sportsbook. So here's where it gets funny. PointsBet, the sportsbook PointsBet will, quote, provide education on responsible gambling to university staff, students, and fans. I mean, think about that for a minute. Let me read that again. PointsBet will, quote, provide education on responsible gambling to university staff, students, and fans. That's about as ironic as it gets. Responsible gambling is like, I don't know. I just don't. It's so funny because, you know, it's all about, you know, they come out and they make you think that they're going to be, you know, all about being responsible, right? But they wouldn't be doing any of this if it wasn't for that 7-figure deal, right? I mean, like let's just be honest with this for a minute. This has nothing to do about, you know, wanting to do anything for the University of Maryland and wanting to provide education. None of this would happen without a 7-figure deal, okay? Like, let's just cut the garbage, okay? I mean, that's all it is. If it wasn't for a 7-figure deal, none of this would happen. I mean, but it's just really, really ironic. 2 years ago, sports betting was illegal or considered taboo, or whatever. I don't know if it was exactly illegal, but it was kind of a hush hush thing. We don't really talk about sports betting, but it's a thing, but it's not. But now we have sports books. In 2 years now, like present day, I mean, we now have sports books partnering with colleges and universities. Who would have thought that this is where we would be 2 or 3 years ago, right? Who would have thought that's where we're at? We're gonna have sports gambling advertising at college sporting events. So that sounds like a great idea. Like this, it just doesn't make sense. But as I said in the last segment, with the college football coaches leaving for a new job before the season is over, money makes everything make sense. It does, right? Because as I said, without any multi, 7-figure agreement or contract or whatever you want to call it, none of this is happening, right? Without the money in it, this isn't happening, right? And I think that's where we're at right now. And it's money has always been like a thing that kind of controls things, but it's now more than ever. That's where we're at, and as I said, sports betting a couple of years ago was much more of a, we don't really talk about it. Don't talk about sports betting. Act like it's not a thing, even though it is a thing, and we all know that people do it, and we all know it's out there, but don't talk about it, right? And then I guess the government or whatever realized, and local and state governments or whatever, I think they figured out, hey, if we legalize this, we can make a boatload of money off of it, and that's what happened. That's just where we're at right now in society. If you can make money off of it, people are going to do it. And, that is both, I guess you could say, a good and bad thing. it's a good thing in terms of, hey, we're going to get a lot of good marketing ideas because, people will do a lot to make a dollar. And hey, people come up with some really good ideas, but then you have legalizing everything, and well, I don't know if that's really the answer. Anybody that puts their rent down on a college game is not gambling responsibly. It's just, I don't know. It's really ironic that you hear they're all about making sure that it's responsible gambling. I mean, come on. And it's one thing if and I think that Caesars Sportsbook partnered with LSU. Yes, LSU, but the one I was thinking of, or I was going to mention, is the New Orleans Saints, right? And I understand partnering with like an NFL team or like a pro team. I get that because at least there you have the majority of your fan base is people. I guess you could say middle-aged people, right? But now they're partnering. We have these sports books partnering with colleges, right? So now you got 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds going to a basketball game or going to a football game, at their college, and they're getting advertised sports betting. I mean, like I said, who would have thought that that's where we would be, a few years ago? It's really odd how it's all changed.